You are listening to Offensive Lines with Marlon and Boyd. Small stakes NFL gambling for the average fan.
Welcome to Offensive Lines. I'm Marlon.
I'm a winner. No, I'm Boyd.
3 for 3, my friend.
Well, that's how you like to start the season. And, might I add, 3 road dogs we picked.
2 of them money line.
Yeah, so suck on that, Vegas. For all the prognosticators out there. Although it did take a ballsy call by Del Rio to get us the fucking Raiders game, but I'm glad I wasn't watching that live. I was just following it on fucking Gamecast.
Oh, yeah.
Having a heart attack.
That was on one of the TVs, and that one actually had sound, so yeah, I got maximum stress out of that.
Oh, and the Lions game too?
Oh, the Lions game was huge stress, because I had a nice return in Vegas myself, betting football. It was a very profitable week, so...
Well, I want to ask you that. Can I post those tickets?
Yeah.
Can I tweet them?
Yeah, sure thing. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I hit 2 lottery tickets, just $5 tickets. They're lottery tickets. But I hit one for 30 for one and one for 18 for one.
Yeah, you did all right. That was killer.
I would have made a 35% profit just on football without the lottery tickets, but that took me to 97% return on my investment.
Yeah, and we made about between 105 and 110%?
110%.
63.10 on 30 bet.
So the next step is to keep this up. But that will be in our pick show tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we're going to run down a quick recap of the games. There were a lot I didn't see because, well, Vegas is great for betting football. Not a great place to watch football.
Well, and I was betting horses in the afternoon games. I was following everything on my phone, keeping tabs for fantasy reasons and for our bets. But I watched a bunch of the Patriots, Cardinals, and a bit of the other stuff on my phone.
I saw nothing of Patriots Cardinals. I was off shooting dice.
What? I thought he had a show in Vegas still.
Nice one. And I didn't see any of the Monday night because I was on a plane. Well, I saw the last 2 Niners scores when I got home.
That might have been the most awful game. We'll get to that.
Yeah, okay. So, starting with Thursday night, one of my losing games of the week. Carolina at Denver. Carolina misses a field goal to lose at the end, and the officiating was borderline criminal.
Yeah, but, okay, here's been my argument all along. They're all talking about those hits to the head on Newton, right? If he's standing in the pocket, flag. The running backs take those hits every fucking game.
Oh, absolutely.
And nobody says fuck all about it. Do you remember the game where Eddie George got knocked out playing the Steelers and fumbled? Knocked out against the fucking Ravens, fumbled?
Oh, yeah.
This happens all the time.
But there is a different posture in the pocket. And those 4 hits that they're talking about.
Yes, but they're legal. He's a runner.
He was right in the pocket for all 4 of those.
No, the two ones they talked about the most or showed the highlight of was the one when he ran down the sidelines and it was just about out of bounds, got hit in the helmet. And the other one they showed was on their last drive to set up the potential game-winning field goal when he was outside the pocket, and they still gave him the fucking 15-yard penalty.
Marshall left his feet and hammered, and he was in the pocket there, I thought.
No, out. Because it was offsetting penalties because of intentional grounding.
Then how can it be intentional grounding if he's outside of the pocket?
Because it didn't get to the line of scrimmage.
By about a yard.
No, it was by a good 3 yards.
Wow, whatever. That's a joke anyway. Usually if you're outside of the pocket, you can fling it anywhere. I don't understand this getting to the line of scrimmage when you can put it in the stand sideways.
No, it's got to pass the line of scrimmage there too. You can't just throw it out of bounds. It's got to pass the line of scrimmage. But regardless,
I've already talked to 2 Denver fans who thought it was atrocious.
Well,
even though they were delighted.
Yes, but the rules are the rules. So change the fucking rules. Or don't use your quarterback like a running back.
Yeah, well,
it's 2 simple solutions.
Yeah, and I do think there are ways to change the rules. There was a good piece in The Ringer today about, the whole difficulty of the situation.
Well, exactly. Because by rule, once he leaves the pocket and runs with the ball, he's a fucking runner. And when runners run, they get hit in the fucking helmet all the time from linebackers coming from the sides, safeties. Go back and listen to our podcast from a couple of years ago. I railed about this, that running backs get no protection and everybody else is protected.
Well, that's obvious, but there's no way to have running involved in football with the same rules for defenseless players because they're not defenseless.
Well, they are when they're getting tackled by somebody else already. And they get the helmet to the fucking head. What's the difference? So and Goodell is a fucking hypocrite. We might see some disciplinary action for the officials in that game. What? They called it by the rule or by the book.
I disagree, and there were other parts of the officiating, like the 5 penalties in a row on Carolina. Everything from offensive PI. Like, it was just ridiculous. Every play was a flag on Denver. And Denver was hanging on. I know, but I started this with saying the officiating was terrible.
Right, but the only controversy...
Well, yeah, but the officiating was terrible.
Well, it's in every game. Because they've made it too complicated to fucking call. Everything's a judgment call now. And they're looking for a flag when the rule states that it's not a fucking flag. As soon as you're outside the fucking pocket, you lose all protection as a quarterback.
Yeah, I want to look at those because nobody was defending out of the pocket where I was.
He was out of the pocket. They called pass or intentional grounding and fucking personal foul.
Yeah, but you can get intentional grounding in the pocket.
No, but he was out of the pocket. They didn't call
intentional grounding if he's...
They didn't call him for roughing the passer. They gave him a personal foul. Just a fucking personal foul. It was... They talked
personal
about
foul is roughing the passer. All the officials call it differently.
But they put it... They announced everybody he's out of the pocket. I'm not saying that hits weren't cheap and that they targeted him, but if you want to change it, you have to change the rule then.
Yeah, but
then what? Then you never hit a quarterback. Fucking Cam Newton would rush for 1,000 yards a year. If you can't fucking... No, the shots were cheap. Were definitely cheap. But the refs called it by how I've interpreted the rule and how I've seen it interpreted for fucking years. Outside the pocket, they become a runner. And you can fucking lay them out. So...
Okay, I'm going to replay all those plays and see where the pocket is. Well, I guess if they make the pocket so tiny now to allow the intentional grounding...
Well, it's outside the tackle box.
Yeah, no, outside the tackles, yeah.
So...
That didn't look like to me on a bunch of those. It was, but I didn't study him that carefully for that detail, so I'm going to accept that for now. I am going to check, though.
Well, the two they focused on after the game were those two. The one on the sideline and the one at the end of the game. So...
The one on the sideline, absolutely no dispute.
No, well, he could have went out of bounds. He took on the hit and got hit in the head. He gained an extra yard and took a shot in the head. So, I don't know. I was pissed off because we got it wrong.
We both got that one wrong.
And I can't believe Denver can still fucking win games with a quarterback that's as bad, or maybe even a little better, but they did nothing.
I actually thought Simeon, in a lot of ways, looked better than anything we saw from the Broncos quarterbacking last year. Super Bowl accepted. I mean, Peyton Manning was terrible, but adequate. You know?
Well, I don't know why Carolina couldn't stop CJ. That was the game. They'll all talk about Simeon winning that fucking game.
Oh, no, Simeon had very little to do with it. I mean, we're back to Dilfer and Baltimore again, which is what we said about Denver all last year. But, so that was a loss. I don't know what Carolina can be thinking right now, because you can't beat Trevor Simeon and the Broncos. How far do you really think you're going to go without some major changes?
Well, if you didn't hear or watch the game with sound on, they were talking about the altitude in the fourth quarter when it looked like Carolina was sucking ass.
You know, and we've brought that up in previous years. The first month of home games for the Broncos is a huge advantage because they've trained in it.
And why didn't we think of that when we were making our picks?
God damn it, we brought that up for the last 2 years. Fuck. Well, we didn't bet on this one, so...
No, but...
Like, I bet on it just because I'm there. It would have been a stay-away game, honestly, if...
Wait, no, but you're down in Vegas. Fuck, put some money on it, enjoy the game.
Exactly.
I get it, but...
I did get a big laugh after the spearing hit... and just say, but player safety is number one. The sportsbook thought that was very amusing.
Well, from the looks of these other games from the NFC South, Panthers aren't going to have much trouble repeating as division champs.
Look out for your Bucks, but we'll get to that. Next up, we have Buffalo +3 at Baltimore. I liked Buffalo in this. What a disaster offensively. I didn't see much of it.
I saw none of it.
I think there was... Tyrod Taylor may have gotten into triple digits passing. Didn't throw the ball long at all. I mean, the defense, even though I don't have very much respect for Baltimore's offense, I think if Buffalo faces a true offense, we'll see if Rex Ryan survives.
Well, he might be dead from overeating by then.
Well, he took out the lap band.
Yeah, fucking dummy. Me and Rob are going to fucking work on this together. Okay.
That act is getting real thin.
Well, and whoever was picking the Ravens as a potential fucking sleeper team this year, what'd you see in that? They've got nothing offense. You put up the Bills are missing 4 or 5 guys suspended off their starting defense, for fuck's sakes, and you put up 13 at home?
Yep. No, I brought them up at one point in our futures thing, and you quickly and intelligently shattered any thoughts I had of that. So good call on you, buddy.
And then you look at a team like the Steelers, who were missing 3 guys off their starting offense, skill position players, looked fucking great. So, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
But yeah, the Ravens is a sleeper team. Fucking forget it.
Yep. Next up, we have Chicago. We both got the Buffalo pick wrong, too. I had them straight up in Vegas as well. But... You had Buffalo.
Fuck. I thought I had the Ravens there.
Nope.
Oh, well.
Okay, Chicago +6.5 at Houston. I'll be honest, I think Chicago did better than I expected.
Yeah, but they're still a...
Oh, yeah.
Like, the Texans aren't good.
No, they're really not. And Lamar Miller had 32 touches in that game. Well, 28 rushes and 4 catches. So
well, what did I say last week? If they use Miller like they use Foster, he's going to get the ball a fuck of a ton.
Oh, yeah, we knew that, but that's too much, Boyd. He will not survive. And by the way, it wasn't like he was effective against a terrible Chicago defense. His yards per carry were terrible. His first downs were terrible. It was brutal. Like,
yeah, but in the division they're in,
oh yeah,
they fucking could run away with it by fucking week 10.
Well, I think they're gonna lose their running back by week 6. So that puts them in a lot of trouble. Didn't see a play of this.
No,
I'm just working off stat sheets, which stinks.
Well, the Osweiler threw a nice pass to Hopkins for one of their touchdowns. He made a nice catch in the end zone, but other than that, Cushing got hurt. He's out 4 to 6 weeks, apparently.
Yeah, that happens all the time to that roided up freak.
Yeah. So, but from what I saw from the other teams in the AFC South, the Texans are probably going to win the division.
I don't disagree. Next up, we have Cincy. We're road favorites, -2.5 at the Jets. They failed to cover and barely squeaked out the win. Pissed me off because I had the Jets straight up on the tickets. I also had them teased 9 ways to Sunday. But this again, like I got the pace of the game from the Jets fans on the other side of the bar and their cheers and chants.
Yeah.
But I couldn't see it. It was completely on the other side of the bar. I heard it was actually a pretty impressive game. But Cincy used to have a good O-line. The Jets sacked them 7 times.
Yeah, but the Jets have a really good pass rush. Might be the best in the league.
Oh, I like the Jets' defense a lot if they had a quarterback.
Well, do you like their defense a lot? Because fucking A.J. Green torched fucking Revis.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, anyone who doubted global warming, Revis Island is now completely underwater.
He got fucking torched.
12 throws to A.J. Green on him, 12 receptions, 180 yards.
Oh, and back to... Oh, no, that's not the game. We'll get to the other... That's the Monday night game I was thinking of, sorry. Yeah, he got torched. I flipped to that game towards the end after when they just kicked the field goal to go ahead, the Bengals. Okay. And they just said how phenomenal A.J. Green was on that final drive for the Bengals. So he must have just lit him up for 4 or 5 catches, I'm guessing.
A.J. Green is superb. I mean, we've said that. Well, it's not like we had a secret.
No, we're not breaking news here.
No, but I really think he's underrated relative to wide receivers in this game. Well, I would much rather have A.J. Green than DeAndre Hopkins.
Just size-wise, yes.
Yeah. I think DeAndre Hopkins is a terrific player. But if I had to choose, it would be A.J. Green. He catches anything within a half mile of him, it seems.
Well, I think Hopkins does too, because look at the quarterback.
Yeah, that's true.
Fitzpatrick, Geno Smith, or Fitzpatrick, Osweiler, Mallet, Hoyer. Fuck. The guy did amazing.
For the most part, though, impressed with Cincy, with all the transition in players on the offense, facing what, at this stage, I still think is mostly a stout defense. Pretty good work from a guy.
Why would you not double Green if you're the Jets? They have nobody else receiving. Effort's out. They got a rookie on the other side. You have to worry about the running back coming out of the backfield to catch a pass. Other than that, it's fucking A.J. Green. I made no sense. You sack him 7 times and he still gets 180 yards? Brutal. That's coaching. That's all coaching.
Yeah. But I got that one correct. You did not.
Oh, you're up 1 on me.
Up 1. That will swiftly change here. I don't know why, in God's name, I took Cleveland +4 at Philly.
I don't either. That's a head scratcher considering we bet them to win less than 4.5 games this year.
Yeah, Philly is absolutely goddamn brutal too. I mean, these are 2 expansion clubs. And yeah, enjoy this victory over Cleveland, but I don't think Philly wins more than 3 more this year.
Oh, they're going to win next week.
Who they got?
Bears.
I'm not convinced yet.
The Eagles defense good. Wasn't great. It was good. They don't need. They're not going to. Their defense isn't going to be on the field fucking 800 minutes a game anymore. When the offense is on 18. The Eagles might be a little bit of a surprise this year, I think, just on their defense. And if Wentz is, he doesn't have to play like he did Sunday. But they have, this is a big if with Ryan Matthews. They've got a running game. I know it was Cleveland, but Matthews hasn't been awful when he's been in. They got some talented wide receiver. Aguilar and Matthews both scored touchdowns on Sunday. They might. I'm not fucking getting hard on yet, but they might surprise some people.
Yeah, I think we're going to be disputing this one, at least until one of us gets proven right, because everything you said, I will just say Cleveland.
I know.
And, a 9-point victory over Cleveland at home.
No, it's 19. It was 29-10.
Oh, I wrote it down as 19-10.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's much more convincing, but I still think Cleveland. All right. Next game up. This one was nearby, so I did see a fair bit of it. Green Bay squeaked out a victory over Jacksonville, 27-23. They failed to cover. Oh, by the way, if you didn't gather from our last conversation, Boyd had Philly. I had Cleveland, inexplicably.
Well, yeah, you're saying, oh, Philly's got nothing, and then you bet Cleveland.
All right, so Green Bay wins 27-23 over Jacksonville. I still don't think it's fixed.
It's not.
That one superhuman goddamn throw is not something you can count on.
No.
And that was, take nothing
fantastic.
away from fucking Rodgers. That was amazing. That was the best throw I saw all weekend.
And like the catch Rodgers made, the tight end, down the sideline. Fuck. Lays out, catches it, hangs on to the ground. Like, you take away those couple of plays, it's a different game. I'm fucking pissed off I didn't pick Jacksonville in this one. Because I talked enough about it that I should have. Because I don't think the Packers are fixed. One guy doesn't fix your offense.
No.
And Jacksonville got no fucking pressure on him. Over? He's had all fucking day. Green Bay isn't fixed.
No, I think we were enticed by the 4.5. I think it lured us both in because we both were on the Pack in this game.
It was good to see because we would get Green Bay under 10.5 wins.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that one still counts as a W. But I also think it's possible. I still don't think they're good. But I think Jacksonville may not be terrible anymore.
Well, no, that was my argument last week.
Yeah.
So Yeldon was running okay, not great, but gave him enough of a threat.
I kind of like Yeldon as a back, by the way, when I see him run.
Then you won't see Robinson held to as few yards as he had. Like, Hearns was their leading receiver on Sunday. And they got fucking close to field goal range. Got stopped on 4th down. Fuck. Or, I mean, to touchdown range. They were within the 20. I think they were in the red zone.
Well, that's why I said, like, this victory didn't feel like a strong victory to me at all.
No. But we know
against what I would still call at this stage until they... Again, I don't like Bortles at all. That receiving core is terrific. Jacksonville's an average team, though, now. They're not fucking doormats anymore. And they're going to beat the Chargers next week. I'm certain of it. Is it the Chargers?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay. Next up, we have Minnesota -2.5 at Tennessee.
And my theory was 100% correct. Sean Hill did absolutely fuck nothing in that game.
And so did Adrian Peterson.
Fuck nothing. So the offense put up 12 points in that game. 4 field goals. Or no, did they get a touchdown?
No, they put up 11 somehow.
Well, no, because he missed an extra point.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, 2 defensive touchdowns. So, yeah, 12 points, probably the 4 field goals. And which, god damn, how many is he going to miss?
Well,
I think that Seattle kick loss broke him, Walsh.
Well, he was 4 out of 6. Like, it's not...
Yeah, but one he missed twice, but it was a long one. Because, well,
it was 57 yards.
They iced him. There were tons of Minnesota fans in the bar, and they were just saying, why the fuck are you bothering icing him? He'll just miss it himself.
No, had a fumble on a fucking zone or read option between Mariota and fucking Murray, returned for a touchdown.
Yeah, just that terrible exchange.
Yeah, and then a screen pass that was picked off when we're in, at the 25. That was horrible. All he had to do there was take the sack and live to play another down. Other than that, we fucking dominated them defensively. Peterson was averaging under 2 yards a carry.
And he didn't even look that good. It wasn't like there was ever a point where he felt like he was getting away. No, I agree. I mean, when it was 10-0 at the half, I thought, barring catastrophe, Tennessee was certainly going to cover the game.
Well, let's just stop with the exotic shit. If you're going to say we're smash mouth, just run.
Yeah.
Don't need zone or read options. Don't need fucking screen passes on 3rd and 1 to Henry trying to stretch it out and trick him. Just fucking run. Smashmouth football team, 3rd and 1, you shouldn't get stopped. You don't need trickery. Just fucking hand it off and let them pound it.
Yeah, look at what Minnesota did last year. Kind of mimic that.
And our defense played really well. No complaints on the defensive side when you give up 12 points.
Nope.
And
it was to Sean Hill, but they still have Adrian Peterson. Stephon Diggs is still a good player. It's not like Minnesota is completely punchless.
And but then Hill Kyle Brady had a decent game.
I mean,
and Thielen, who I never heard of this guy. He was their leading receiver, I think. Never fucking heard of him. But they had no offense, really, Minnesota. It's just frustrating that the defense held up their end of the bargain and stopped Peterson. and the offense gives up fucking 13 points.
The gimmick plays hurt you. Like, you're right. Like, I don't think it's necessarily a terrible idea to reverse course and just become a running team.
No, because we were running on them.
That's not necessarily a bad idea, and Minnesota's a really good defense.
Yes, and we were running on them.
But it's when you got into the college boy trickery that you got into trouble.
Yeah, because even that screen pass was a fucking kind of a trick.
Yeah.
It wasn't just your run-of-the-mill screen.
Yeah, you're right. Just lose exotic. Just play Smash Mouth. You'll have a chance.
Frustrating start to the year.
All right. You don't know nothing yet.
Well, but as I told you before the podcast, they're 5-11, 6-10 at best. When you look at their schedule, it's fucking brutal. So
yeah. All right. Next up, we have another winner. By the way, I had Minnesota. You had Tennessee in that game.
So we're tied.
No, I'm one up again because you. I've got Houston, Jets, Minnesota. You have Houston, Philly. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Oakland. +1 at New Orleans. We bet the money line.
That puppy paid 24 ducks.
No, that one was only $20.
Oh, that was the 20?
Yeah.
Oh, right. It was the next
coming
one up. Okay, yeah.
That was a crazy game.
What were they down? 34-24 in the fourth or something like that?
I think they were down 13 points somewhere in the fourth. Like, there was so much scoring going on in that. Like, you'd look up and a guy was scampering, like, long scoring plays, too.
Oh, remember in our fantasy draft, though, I have to bring this up. When I said I like Jalen Richard better than DeAndre Washington, I just ran out of money in roster spots. Or I didn't run out of money. I ran out of roster spots. And Jalen Richard was my guy. He had an 80-yard touchdown run in that game. He's better than DeAndre Washington. I saw them both in the preseason. Jalen Richard's going to end up being the guy in Oakland. But barring that, the Raiders tied it up at 27. And I was like, okay, we got a shot. And then I look at my phone again and, Saints are at the Oakland 6. I'm like, fuck off. And then, was I texting with you at that point? I didn't even know the Raiders had gone for 2.
Yeah, you were texting. You texted after, once you figured it out, because you just said, love the balls on Oakland. And I just had a discussion with a bunch of people. I said I liked the call, because clearly their defense can't stop New Orleans. Period. You're on the road. New Orleans has no timeouts, right, for that last field goal drive. You don't want to go to overtime with this team. Well, no,
and you're at a 50-50 proposition in overtime. If you lose the toss, the game's probably over.
Yeah.
Right? So, and it's 50-50 on the fucking 2-point conversion. So,
yeah, and if New Orleans has a timeout or two there with 47 seconds left and Breeze, I don't like the call to go for 2.
No.
But with New Orleans out of timeouts, I love it. I'm surprised you don't see more of them make it. I mean, I guess ESPN did something that said that was the wrong call, but when your defense cannot really even slow down this team, I love just going for it right there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I would rather bet on my offense against New Orleans defense than vice versa.
Well put. And
this is why we took New Orleans under, 8.5 or something in our bets because of their defense. In our futures bets, we took the Saints in the under. This is why. They put up this many points last year in games.
Yep.
Fuck, they lost to the Titans 40-34 or some fucking time last year. And the Giants lost to them 52-45 or some fucking thing. Nothing's been fixed. So that was our reasoning for taking Oakland, was on their defense. And I think we might be able to pat ourselves in the back by the end of this year on picking Derek Carr as the best quarterback out of that draft.
Yeah.
He had a pretty good fucking day.
Yeah, I mean, he's still not perfect yet, but I honestly thought Oakland's defense would be tougher. Now I want to know how good is New Orleans' offense and whether that was just a blip aberration, because they got no pressure on Breeze that I could see any time that I looked at it. And I thought they would be able to pressure the quarterback. Kicking myself. Willie Snead was one of the players I was going to take all over in fantasy and just could never find him.
Yeah.
And pisses me off that I didn't. He was superb.
Yeah.
All right. So that was a winner. Thing,
now that you said about Willie Snead, I have to bring up the guy I was touting in fantasy. Tajay Sharp looked fucking good. He looked good again.
I've got him in a league.
He looked really good. Number one option for Mariota right now. Looked at him first all day. So, fantasy advice, if he's sitting out there in your league, he's going to probably end up with 70, 80 catches this year. Because we got the old Dolphin, Rashard Matthews, on the other side.
Yeah, and Delaney Walker. That's.
Oh, and Andre Johnson dropped a fucking touchdown.
Yeah, all right. Get over your bitterness, because the next game up is San Diego +7 at KC.
Hey. San Diego Superchargers.
But hey, man, at least we're keeping to our team principles of business and our protocols.
Well, that wasn't why you lost the fucking game.
No, though, honestly, it probably wouldn't have hurt to have the number 3 overall pick, have a full training camp, and be in the defense as they just rammed it up our gut.
Oh, let's not. Well, let's
probably
not
wouldn't
go
have
down
hurt.
that. Let's not go down that road again.
No, I just
argued about that enough.
To Dean Spanos, hey shithead. Good thing you're keeping your principles. What have you won? Ever. You're not running a good business. You're running an idiotic business. No city will even have you by the end of this fucking shit year. Biggest comeback in Kansas City history. Tying their own record for the biggest fourth quarter comeback in week 1 of a regular season against them. Bravo. Bravo, Chargers.
Well, the Chargers did this in 2010, I think, too. Blew the same lead in a
2013. Like, I didn't even... My pulse rate didn't even go up. It stopped surprising me.
Well, no, mine in the Titans game, mine didn't either. When the Vikings went up 12-10, I was just like... I kind of knew this was going to happen. No use throwing my hat. Fucking whatever. Like when your team's good and they do stupid shit, I get upset.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm presuming they're going to be shitty, I'm like you on flatline. But shit like this now.
Yep. Like, I was buying some sports stuff at the airport on the way home, and the clerk there was hilarious. This rotund but very, very chatty black guy, and he's just going, I was buying Chargers stuff, he's going, ooh, you didn't have a very good day yesterday, did you? And then we talked about that for a while, and then he just said, but you know my favorite thing about the Chargers? It's watching Phillip Rivers run. I'm going, he ran for a first down yesterday, and he's going, I know, but it just looks so funny. So
that was a tough one. Oh, and you lost fucking Keenan Allen too.
Well, that was it. I mean, I don't like to just like this whole, if this had happened, like with Bosa in there, that wouldn't necessarily have changed anything.
No,
I
losing
do
Allen
think
did.
losing Keenan Allen, if he's in there, we don't lose that game.
Yeah.
And that's just brutal. Like, it's absolutely devastatingly brutal.
Was it non-contact?
Yep.
Fuck.
He was coming through the middle of the field. He kind of turned. It wasn't quite a bucket hook, but he was cutting hard to go to the outside.
Yeah.
Right at about the hash. As soon as he went down, I just knew. I'm going, well, he's done for the year.
Well, yeah,
that's right about when
like
you texted me, and I just said I'm so depressed.
Yeah.
They did, however, cover.
Yes. And we didn't pick him to cover, did we?
Nope.
No. By half a point. See, fucking overtime, don't kick the extra point. Just fucks you sometimes.
I will say, Walter Football, his website, which we read, San Diego plus 6.5 was his game of the month. He put $800 on it. So, bravo,
for the Chargers
Walter.
to cover?
Yeah.
Well, I think I said those games are usually closer.
Yeah.
Last week, but I didn't have the balls to pick San Diego.
Well, he must have thought it was just a wrap, and then
that's
hey,
two games.
He still got his fucking cover, but holy fuck.
That's 2 games this week that I picked against my own argument. I basically argued for Jacksonville to cover, and I argued for the Chargers to cover. And then went, no, but I'm still taking the Chiefs and the Packers.
And San Diego's run defense is still non-existent. Next up, we have
maybe the number
winner.
3 pick would have made a difference.
Sure, couldn't have hurt. Couldn't have hurt. Well, there were other things too. It's like Melvin Gordon had a good game, running hard. Like, he was turning 2-yard gains into 4- and 5-yard gains, which is what you really want. That's what separates running backs. Got his 2 touchdowns, was running hard. 4 carries in the second half with a big lead.
That's, well, you know my theory on quarterbacks.
No, because they gave it to Woodhead, who had a good day on the ground he had 16 carries on the ground. Like, it wasn't all that either. I mean, that you look at that number and it seems one thing. It wasn't entirely that they just started throwing it. In fact, not at all. He only threw the ball like 16 times in the second half.
Yeah, but Woodhead isn't the guy to burn out the clock.
Exactly. It's sort of a different style.
Well, he's not punishing defenses at 5-0 and 100-0.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I agree, but it's a subtle difference. Like, it wasn't completely bizarre, but I don't understand when you've got your second-year back who's showing some stuff, why you completely don't use him. Don't save him for the playoffs. Here's a hint, fucking Mr. McCoy. Well, you don't have to keep him fresh for the playoffs.
Whenever I don't have anything to say, I'm just going to say the name Dean Spanos and then let you go.
Yeah, that's exactly it. This should be good for lots of angry rants.
And I was just throwing that in as an aside about Bose at number 3 when you're going on to the next game. Yeah. Then we get another 3 minutes.
Luckily, it does appear thus far, though, that Brandon Flowers, whatever happened to him last year, is over. He had mostly a good game. The secondary play was good when we were aggressive in the first half. There was one series where the Chargers got 2 sacks on the same series. And I'm thinking, it's been years.
Well, that's a novelty.
Yeah. So, all right, moving on. Another winner for us. We both had Tampa Bay on the money line at Atlanta. Tampa Bay prevailed 31-24. Shoot 'em up.
Yeah. Winston had 4 TD passes.
Ryan had 3, I think. 2 or 3.
Yeah, 3, I think. But they're still the same old Falcons.
Yep.
It's nothing. My argument last week to pick Tampa Bay was the Falcons changed nothing. And it held true.
They can't pressure the quarterback at all.
And I don't know how good their corners and safeties are.
And Atlanta stalled in the red zone a few times as well, by the way. So,
yeah, but that was a problem last year too.
Yep.
Because all they have is Julio Jones down there.
And except for that 1 month, I mean, Freeman's a fine player, but he's not. But
they split the carries.
Yep.
They split the carries with Coleman.
Well, and Coleman looked better, if anything, than Freeman. They've got 2 guys who are kind of both third down backs. They've got no running
Coleman's
back,
a little bigger.
No pass rush.
Coleman's a little bigger.
And he might even be faster, in spite of the size. But yeah, same old in Atlanta. But that one on the money line paid us 24, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a game we had to sweat the least.
It really was. I mean, it started off a little nerve, and then I looked up, and Tampa Bay was taking control every time I looked at it.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay is the only threat to Carolina, and I don't think they're there yet.
No. They're a year away, probably.
But they're starting to look like a good team.
And now I'm thinking we might have drafted the wrong quarterback. Although Mariota is good. And I'm sure Winston will have some games where he makes decisions like that.
Winston was facing an Atlanta defense. Mariota was facing a Vikings defense.
Yeah, that's true.
They're completely different fucking animals. Completely
true enough.
Different. All right. Next up was a shocker that I barely paid attention to. Seattle. Miami came to Seattle as 10.5-point dogs. They almost won this fucking thing.
Yeah.
If Tannehill was at all competent, they might have.
I don't know what to make of the Seahawks anymore. Like, are they getting overvalued just like the fucking Saints?
I'm starting, maybe a bit, but like, you know, every Seahawks fan will be countering, oh, well, Russell Wilson hurt his ankle, which Dr. Pete Carroll says is fine.
Yeah.
Because, you know, everything is fine in Pete Carroll's world. Rawls, Kristen Michaels, none of them could run. Like, I don't know. And Seattle was at home too. I might add to all these apologists out there.
No, but wasn't this supposed to be that juggernaut offense everybody told me about at the end of last year when they played shit teams to put all those points up?
Oh yeah, well, you know, Baldwin, Lockett, who's the other one? Curse.
Yeah, Jimmy Graham was supposed to be better this year. It's
12 points against a not terrible, but certainly not great Miami defense.
Well, no. Well, it shows you what everybody thought of them. It was 10.5, and the line didn't move. So, I don't know what to make of them yet. I think they're going to end up the same as they did last year, 5-3 at home. They'll get in as a wild card, and won't be a factor in the playoffs. From 1 week, it's hard to determine that.
Yeah, no, and that's something we'll have to
but this isn't
make
becoming,
certain
Marlon,
when we do our picks tomorrow. Recency bias. Week 2 is always a bitch because you've been waiting for football so long, you swing the pendulum too far after one result.
No, but this isn't just a one-game thing for Seattle. Like, it was a lot. This happened a lot last year.
Yeah.
Where they put up very few points. So, I think I can remember them scoring against, putting up big points, and they still lost the game, was Arizona at home last year.
They split those two, and they were blowouts both ways with Zona.
Yeah.
Like, there was one blowout each way.
No, I know, but the last game, fucking Zona didn't matter.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean,
because they knew they couldn't win the conference, so it was just basically whatever.
That'll be interesting. Let's take a look at that in the data more before the pod and just kind of see what they've done against credible opposition recently.
Well, we know what they did. They scored 10 points against Minnesota last year in the playoffs, and that's where they play this week.
Yeah.
Against that defense.
Yeah, though Miami's defense, I think, is pretty good. Arian Foster, I think,
it's not as good as fucking
done, by the way. No, it's not as good as Minnesota's, but Miami doesn't have a terrible defense.
No. But you want to look at the last good defense they played.
Well, I just meant in general, as you said, all those points they put up against shitty opposition, and I think you might be onto something there. And I just kind of want to go back and look at exactly which teams they dealt with. Even in that 8-game, this is the ascendancy of the Seahawks offense. I want to take a better look at that. I think you're onto something. Okay.
So both got that wrong.
Yep. Next game up, we got it's
just in that to fucking bookend that Seattle discussion. You even said I hate laying 10.5 in the first week.
Yeah, I really
and we still picked it.
No, I didn't like it a bit, but again, it didn't become a game I bet, you know?
Yeah.
This is why I don't play full slate pools anymore. I don't want to pick games like that. They're fucking random.
Yeah.
Okay, the next game is my favorite game of the week. Detroit +4 at Indy. We considered this on the money line. We didn't do it. I'm still glad we didn't, because
me too.
As soon as Detroit missed that extra point, like, I was exulting with other Detroit bettors, because then Indy could go up by 1 and I would just be happier than shit. This game won me $300, so I am fucking fine.
Yeah, no, if it was 3, we would have bet the money line.
Yeah. Yeah, and even when I bet them, like, I had them on the points, and then I also teased them, which was a winner fairly early, right? Into the last 5 minutes. I knew that one was cashed. And then they were the last 2 teams on my my lottery tickets was the over, which was not a problem. And Detroit, I had +9.5, anyway. But I needed them to cover for 1 ticket. And when they missed that extra point, I swear to God, I'd like to see a calculator. I bet the cover expectation went from 70 to 95.
Oh, easy. But to blow a lead, they had a lead like the Chargers did.
Yep.
And I was thinking, second half, we're cruising on that game. Don't even have to worry about it. Checking my phone, and it's like, for fuck's sakes.
We were wandering around Fremont, and I saw the 3rd touchdown they scored. But there were no seats in the bar, so we wandered on. We finally went back to where we started, and all of a sudden, you could just feel it slipping away.
And can I ask, where was this Andrew Luck last year when I had him in fantasy? He didn't have 1 game like this last year.
Nope.
Not a fucking one. I paid $38 for him, and Stu's got him for fucking $8.
Fuck. Well.
That's just that in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, has been my fantasy experience.
Hey, you still beat me this week.
Did you like the link I sent you?
Yeah, dick. I was going to just send back fuck off, but...
And for those wondering, it was how to not be too depressed over losing your first week of fantasy football. I think it's the first time I've ever beaten you, so fuck off to you.
I think you beat me once, but all right. But a few things here. One, Indy's defense is, they don't even have their starters to begin with. Their defense is fucking terrible, and I don't think getting back Vontae Davis is going to fix that.
What about their O-line?
Holy shit, they're terrible.
Okay. I didn't see any of this game, so that's why I was wondering.
If they don't have Luck working at peak, I think they handle, like, Detroit wins this walking away.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to jump totally on Detroit. I'm glad they won on many levels, but I still, if Indy faces a really tough defense, I think they're in a lot of trouble. I think they're going to score points, though.
Just a pass rush.
Yeah.
And if they face a pass rush, they're not scoring points.
Though Dwayne Allen is getting out there. He looks good. Getting rid of Fleener, who, by the way, I don't recall hearing his name in New Orleans.
No. See, I'm a year late on everybody. Fuck, I had Dwayne Allen last year, too. Fuck's sakes. Fucking quit bringing up names. What'd you just write down everybody I had last year and say, oh, they had a great game? They had a great game.
I wish I'd thought that far ahead. But, no, I mean, there was nothing wrong with Stafford, but this defense is not good. And Detroit almost pissed it away with Jones not going out of bounds at the end. Did you see that?
No. The only one they talked about was the fucking Terrence Williams in Dallas that didn't go out of bounds.
Yeah, so this still left them 17 seconds, so they just went out through a quick incomplete pass and still kicked the field goal. But you could actually see Stafford screaming at him, just go out, just go out. So coaching might still be a bit of an issue.
No, that guy's just fucking losing it in the moment.
Yeah.
Because
it was exciting, right?
Like if you watch Hard Knocks or All or Nothing or any of those, they go over this shit fucking ad nauseum.
Good point. Like particularly that All or Nothing showed where okay, he will try to draw you in this position. Here's how Green Bay runs their Hail Mary.
Yeah,
this is exactly what you have to protect.
They cover everything.
Yeah, super specific examples of what not to do in this situation. And
here's what you do in this situation.
Yeah.
And it's fucking, when they showed the Rams fucking doing an instructional video on how to stand for the national anthem, you know they're pretty thorough. So you can't go, oh, well, is it a coaching fault that fucking Terrence Williams didn't run out of bounds? Are you fucking kidding me? They've been taught this since they were fucking 8.
And the emotion is crazy.
Yeah. So they're human. They lose their fucking focus, or not even focus, but they're just trying to make a play.
Yeah.
So
no, you're right. That was way too cynical a comment. But we should move forward. That was a great game for us. We both got it. We just got our 1909 on that, but made me a lot of money. All right. Next game up, New York Giants -1 at Dallas. They won 2019 in a push.
Like, these scores are just ridiculous, the numbers we get now. It used to be 3, 4, and 7.
Oh, I know. I was looking at these, like 22, 23.
2019, 23, 21. Fuck.
Even
25,
39, 35, in the Detroit game?
Well, in the Titans game, 25-16. When do you see 25?
Yeah.
That's not a number when there's not a safety involved.
Yeah, 6 field goals and a touchdown? All right. Thanks, Des, for your 8 yards. I really didn't watch much of this because I was focused on Detroit.
No, I didn't see any of it, but I was following it because you had Des against me in fantasy. And if he does anything, I lose.
He didn't.
So, no, So I was glad. And okay, he was. I don't know why. Maybe it was because I didn't see any of it, but if they covered him different or doubled him, like to take him away from Prescott to be his security blanket, but he wasn't targeted as many times as fucking Beasley.
No, it was Beasley and Witten, and Dez did drop a touchdown in the end zone.
Did he drop it, or was it his foot wasn't in? Because I couldn't see.
I just saw the ball.
Foot.
I just saw the ball bouncing out and them waving it off, cursed at the screen, and went back to the other game.
Because the highlight I saw, it looked like his feet. He got the one foot down, and then he kind of got tackled, so he couldn't tap the other foot.
Okay.
When he hit the ground, his second foot tapped the sideline.
Oh, you see, no, that's fine. That's good defense, which I've said for years. When guys are tight, screw playing the ball or knocking it down. Knock the guy out.
Yeah, but I don't know. I didn't have the sound up watching the highlights, so fuck, I don't know what they called. But that's what it looked like to me anyway.
I'm not pulling the cord on Dez yet. He's way too talented.
No,
but that stung. A 0.8 was not what I expected out of him.
But as we know with rookie quarterbacks, look at Delaney Walker in Tennessee last year, was fucking Mariota's favorite target.
Oh, yeah.
Secure, and if Witten's leading them in receptions after week one with a rookie quarterback, expect it to continue.
Yeah, you are correct.
Because they're never doubled. They can be open for 4 yards. They generally are the safety valve when you leave the running back into block. And that's my guess is what happened. It's the easiest receiver to see. He's usually in the middle of the field. The easiest throw to make, straight down the fucking line. So
his value skyrocketed fantasy-wise. I agree.
Yeah.
Next game.
But I don't think Dallas is dead yet.
I don't think so
like
either.
Last year. Elliott will be better. And I don't think you need to fucking blow smoke up the Giants' ass yet either.
No.
I'm not sold on them either. But, okay, carry on.
Next game, the Sunday night game at New England +6 at Arizona. I tried to bet New England in Vegas. Like, I didn't change it on the website. I had Zona, so it wouldn't count anyway. But I was sitting there, and it moved to 8, by the way.
Holy fuck.
At the Nugget. And I thought, well, I'm going to take New England. I went to try to bet it. About an hour before the game, they'd pulled it off the board.
Because there was too much money on coming in on fucking Arizona?
I would have to guess, because the line moved. It was 6.5 when I got there, and then it was 8.
Somebody must have come in and put, like, a large chunk of money on it to move the line 1.5.
Yeah, so I went up to the gal, and I just said, yeah, I'll put 20 on New England plus, and she's going, no, that game's off the board.
Fuck, I've never heard of that happening before. Somebody must have laid a large amount of money on that game to get him to pull it, because it must have swung too far and all the money was coming in on Arizona.
It must have been. And again, it's
why do we
usually welcome to? You're usually encouraged to bet.
Yeah, but why do we doubt the Patriots?
Well, I know, and I stopped doubting them at 7 points.
But why did we even doubt them?
Because Arizona at home. Arizona's a good team. I did bring up in the podcast last week, these games that Arizona should win are the ones they lose.
Yeah.
I brought it up, but I kind of went ultimately with Arizona home field advantage was why I ended up taking them.
Yeah.
And
I
didn't watch it. Like I said, I was shooting dice, but
Garoppolo and Fitzgerald made a fuck of a catch to put them up. Fuck me.
He's still goddamn amazing.
And then he watches his kicker miss the winning field goal.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, fuck. Like, the Cardinals are still going to be good. The NFC isn't that strong.
No. And with our discussions on Seattle, I mean, I still think that they're the favorite to win that division.
Yeah. It'll come down to the games against each other for that division. I don't think you're going to see Arizona go 13-3 again.
No. I still think
11-5.
Based on their talent, yeah, a 10-6, 11-5 club, which should be enough for that division.
Yeah. Well, they get to play the Rams too twice. Don't forget. Yeah. So
next
probably 11.
I did not see a scrap of this. I was on a plane. Pittsburgh -3 at Washington. Good thing you paid Josh Norman all that money not to cover Antonio Brown.
Well, it's almost like it's the same decision-making that goes into the quarterbacks, protect their ego.
No, like, but he's never shied away from it. And he, in Carolina, he wasn't like Richard Sherman. I can understand if the system is so much that they keep Sherman in one place, all of that. But Josh Norman's career, he's moved around and covered the top guy.
Well, why do you pay him that much money?
I have no idea. No fucking idea. I read a great thing. Where was it? But just with John Gruden in the booth, his new announcing partner, who I don't even know, I haven't seen yet.
Sean McDonough is fucking amazing.
Okay, Sean McDonough is going, why aren't they putting Norman? Oh, well, it's not that easy. Oh, bullshit. You've had all training camp. It wasn't like you drew Pittsburgh out of a hat.
Well, you would game plan to have him on fucking Brown.
Maybe not. I guess it's not that easy when it's your little brother, you fuckwad.
Well, let's put it this way. If you don't know where he's going to line up from play to play, which side, my corners fucking stand in the middle of the field, wait to see which side he runs to, and you run over there.
Well, yeah.
That's how hard it is.
It makes no sense in this whole... And plus, you probably shattered the fucking confidence of your second corner. It's inexplicable to me.
Well, no, you sign him to one of the richest deals a cornerback's ever got. And he covers Antonio Brown for 2 passes.
Yeah, and remember that... Raiders cornerback who signed with the Eagles.
Yeah,
he was never that kind of man-to-man corner. So that didn't work. Maybe Sherman isn't either, because he tends to play one side of the field. But Josh Norman has played his whole career moving around to cover the best receiver.
If you're just bringing in a corner to be a systems guy, then fucking why are you paying him like he's Deion Sanders?
It's mind-blowing. It's the least explicable coaching of the year. And I love how Gruden wouldn't fucking even bite on it.
Did you ever see anybody say, well, it was hard to get Deion on the top receiver?
No.
I've never heard of that excuse. It's not that easy.
Well, no, Josh Norman was that guy too. It was never like he was just playing one side of the field in a cover 2 or a cover 3.
Remember that was the whole Super Bowl argument? Like, could he cover the slot?
Oh, yeah.
And all that shit?
Yeah.
But it makes no sense. And And the reason we took Pittsburgh there was you brought up the stat that Cousins never beat a team that was good. Didn't beat a team with a winning record all of last year.
Well, I'm going to have to check. I wrote down that I took Washington, but I'll have to check the podcast.
Oh, that's a good one for me then.
Yeah.
No, I think don't even bother looking. You took Pittsburgh. You're the one that brought that stat up.
Okay.
So I can't believe you take Washington after that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'll check it for my own. Because I looked at that, too, and I'm thinking, what the hell was I thinking? I don't like Cousins. I hate Pittsburgh, too. And anyway, I'll check. This may be adjusted. And the final game, if you can call it that. LA 0. The Powerhouse Niners 28. This one,
And we both took LA.
Yep.
Like fucking dummies. After betting on them to win less than 7 games this year.
And watching Hard Knocks and being not impressed with anything about it. Case Keenum at quarterback. Yeah, I don't know what we were thinking there.
I don't either. I'm just glad the games we bet on, we won. Because our week performance wasn't great.
No, but
we won where it counted.
Exactly. So you went 6-9-1. I went 7-8-1. Pending.
You better check the tape.
Yeah. Pending. We'll call that pending an official review.
Yeah, it's going to the booth.
So we'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah. With our pick show. I should start tweeting them out Sunday. Just people want to follow it if they're not listening to the podcast or whatnot, or they can't remember. I need to do that, I think.
Okay, we'll figure out an easy way to do that.
But we're documented. You can listen to the
podcast. We're documented, and I usually put them up on the website, but after our podcast, I headed out of town. So.
Well, that was a good one, buddy.
Okay.
If you want to listen to our podcast, you can listen to it on iTunes or Stitcher for your Android device. On our website, offensivelines.ca. Follow us on Twitter at Offensive Lines for any updates to our blog posts or when a new podcast is available. Facebook.com/Offensive Lines. Oh, forgot our own personal Twitter accounts. At O-Lines Marlon or at O-Lines Boyd. I'm a little more active than Marlon. I was tweeting out, if anybody was paying attention, all the new Rush uniforms yesterday that were leaked before they were officially announced for the Thursday night games this year. And if you want to send us an email, it's offensivelines@shaw.ca. I'm a winner.
And I'm Marlon. We will see you again at the same time tomorrow.
They are who we thought they are.
Generous fucking gambler.